Boss Baby is DreamWorks' latest animated film they ever made, and I think it's kind of based on the book of the same name. I started to notice that DreamWorks really does love making their movies based on books. And so I watched this movie around the time of my brother's birthday, and I rewatched on the Fire Stick. And boy, I probably know this movie's gonna suck, and boy, it really does suck. So let's get to the story. And in my opinion, it's similar to Toy Story. Like, you got the boy named Tim. He has a happy family, just like Toy Story, where Woody has a great time because he's always been Andy's favorite toy. And this one, Tim always be the loves being the one child with his family. No one be ever get over his attention. Well, until the baby comes in, who is the boss baby, which by the way doesn't have a name. It's just Alec Baldwin as a baby, doesn't get a name. But you know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna call him Baby Alec Baldwin. I'm just gonna call him Baby Donald Trump because people thinking that DreamWorks actually mocking Donald Trump and we was as a baby and all that stuff. So anyway, just like Toy Story, where Buzz comes in and become Andy's new favorite toy, and start decreasing Woody's attention around Andy. So after that, so back to the Boss Baby. Tim knows that the baby's alive, and he decided to help him save Baby Corp and make sure to stop all the adults having more attention on puppies instead of babies. And that's kind of similar to Toy Story, where Buzz and Woody try to get along and work together to escape Sid to get back to Andy before he moves. And that's not the biggest problem with the story in this film. The biggest problem with the film and the story of this film is it's kind of too predictable for a kids film. Now, hear me out, guys. I know this is a kids film. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing: if you want to make a good kids movie, fine, but don't make it too predictable for us, the adults, as adults know feel like we're bored out of our minds and we actually know what's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure even kids who see movies that have the same plot to this, know what's going to happen. Like we all know that Tim and Donald Trump the baby don't get along and they have to try to work together. We all know that they're gonna be brothers at the end. That's basically what the problem with this movie. It's kind of too predictable to watch for the whole movie. And that's how it is when I feel about the story in the movie. It kind of dries you out, and you obviously know what's going to happen. And sometimes the movie gets unpleasant to watch and hear when you're trying to get to follow the story right. But the story doesn't get anything clear in your mind. It's just trying to fool your children into watching it, thinking it'll be great, they make it a thing of be great, but later they notice that it is hard to find out how this movie is think that they think when they're young is great, and they notice they just wasted their time watching it. And that's basically how simple what this movie is. But the humor, on the other hand, on paper, the humor in this movie is just so dumb, just like how the story is dumb. All the jokes are just baby jokes, behind jokes, behind jokes, and pop cultural references. If you want to see much better pop culture references in a DreamWorks film, then watch Shrek because they have the most better pop culture reference jokes in this than Donald Trump baby movie. And aside from that, I will say the humor is not that bad, but when I rewatch it, I find all the jokes I like in the movie, some of the jokes I like in the movie now down falls downhill at best because I find them now pretty forgettable. Just like how the story and the writing is. It's just forgettable now. And aside from the animation, I do admit the animation does look really nice. Of course, I do like the design of the characters, but I kind of have a too. I find the animation look way too other animated direct DVD movie style of the CG of the design of the characters. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but I'm just having a hard time trying to find these animations similar to something. And I do admit the most amazing thing in the animation is the part with Tim's imagination, in my opinion, which I don't find the imagination scenery doesn't find that charming. I just feel it's so out of place. Although it's nice to look at, but still, it's just feel out of place. Now, in the movie, the parents they say that Tim has did this because of the overactive of his imagination. I understand that, but it's still out of place. And as well as the animation, it's still good in a topical DreamWorks style. But I don't think the animation in this movie doesn't fit well in any other DreamWorks films out there, like Madagascar and and Shrek. I started to notice the animation in this film was similar to Home. And that's the rest of the animation. Now let's go to the characters. First we have Tim, who is the just a bland generic boy. That's all I have to say that. Baby Donald Trump. He is just a boss. He's just a baby who works in a baby corp and he does all this talk and he does all this businessman talking. He's just a businessman but as a baby. Nothing all that special. But at least he does well, I'll give it this. At least Alec Baldwin does try to do something a little bit funny in this movie, and he does have some decent dialogue. But it doesn't help him make this film even more great. But Tim's parents, oh my god, they're the most dumbest parents I ever seen in a movie history. Like for some reason, they just once they saw the baby at the door, they never questioned like where does baby come from? Where's the no? No, and why is he wearing that fancy clothes? And I was like, whatever, we'll just adopt him anyway. Cause we can't just let him report to police like have you seen this baby? He might be lost or something. But no, they just had to adopt him for no reason. And they always fell for it with the babies being so cute and stuff. Yeah, Tim's parents are just the most dumbest parents I ever seen in my life. And what's even more frustrating is that there's this one scene where they notice that where Tim's trying to get rid of the baby Donald Trump, and they decide to ground him for life. That's the most neglectful thing I ever seen in an animated film. Period. So yeah, like I said, these parents are just dumb, just like Tim and Trump. As for the villain himself, spoiler alert, he's actually one of the members of the Baby Corps who wants revenge on Baby Corps by making sure all the puppies are the most popular thing than babies. Nothing and I noticed that his voice is the same guy who voiced Randall from Monster University and Mr. Nutcracker from Monster House. And I have to admit, his plan is kind of fits well in this movie. Although I don't feel like this character at all because he's also pretty much a bland villain too. But his at least his scheme was kind of work enough. Also, the other characters are generic too. Like the villain's henchman is just a weird, strange henchman. He kind of reminds me of Kronk, but it's just more muscular than strange. That's all I have to say about him. And also Donald Trump's baby workers such as the triplets, the baby girl, and the big one, and the big baby. They're just not that special either. They're just there for comedy purposes. As well as as well as how the action got stuff going in this movie, they're the most bland one. It's the most blandest scene I ever seen in the movie is the part where Tim battling the babies in the toy vehicles, and the chase scene with the big muscular guy. And aside from that, that's all the thing with these characters in the rest of the movie is. It's just this movie that is trying to be cartoony and tries to be simple for a kids film, but it basically does not even try to be a good physical kids movie. It's just so stereotypical that even the audience known as the adults doesn't care, and the kids don't care. The writers and the people who made this movie, they just don't care about what they're gonna do for this film. They decided to do something lazy, and they decided to throw it into the movie and let the kids watch it, so they don't give a care. So they don't even care what the kids are looking at. All they care about is money. In fact, I bet they really did this just so that they can actually save enough time to make Captain Underpants look like a good, decent movie. That's in my opinion. They just did it on purpose just so they can try to make Captain Underpants a great movie. Will Captain Underpants be a good movie and make Dreamers back on the map? I hope we find out. So, in conclusion, Boss Baby is just a generic movie that we obviously know what's going to happen. The plot is just so dumb, and the writing is just so horrendously not that interesting. And the voice, just like I said, the story's not that interesting. The writing is just kind of bland and stupid. But the animation is still nice, and that's the only thing it kind of got like in it, like in the movie. The characters are just so generic and nothing is that entertaining to watch. It's just another kid movie for kids that the people don't care about. They just try to do something, but they're not even trying. So Boss Baby are gonna get a 4.5 out of 10 for earning a poison mushroom medal. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. And tell me guys what you guys think about Boss Baby. Is it good or bad? Leave in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. So I'm just gonna one extra criticism I have to say about this film. I'm not trying to say that this movie isn't awful or it's not even worse than Home. It's not like I said, it's not even worse than Home or The Trolls. It's just kind of a dull movie to sat through. Like throughout the whole movie, I was kind of dull, annoyed, and I just find myself daydreaming watching this whole entire film. It's just really not that. It's just really not that really thing to watch, and you're not really noticing no shock value or something. It's like Home. Like they try to let you learn that making mistakes is okay, but don't do it too much. It's fine, but they just not even trying. But throughout the movie, they try to make the friendship not even. But they're not even trying to make the friendship really good as you can imagine when it comes to Tip and O. But here, with the relationship between Tim and the Donald Trump baby, they're just not even trying because you know what's going to happen and you know that how they're gonna treat each other well. And needless to say, they just really don't know how to make the story works. Just like I said, it's not a worst film. It's not one of the worst films. If your kids want to watch this movie about baby being a boss of a company, then that's fine. For the rest of us, the adults, the teenagers, we just know this is a big waste of time to watch. So that's all I'll say for these extra thoughts. Thank you.